Hey, happy days, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. Today let's talk about the expression down the drain. Now, down the drain, of course, comes from places in the country where, or not the country, places in the world where water is scarce. Water is considered more precious than oil and gold in many parts of the world where they don't have a lot of water. Why? Because we need water to sustain life. We need water for crops, to grow crops. We need water as human beings and as animals to just live. You know, our bodies are mainly composed of water and we need to be replenishing that water all the time. So in those areas where water is considered very precious, water that goes down the drain can't be recovered. It's wasted and it can't be retrieved again, and so it's lost forever. Well, this expression has gone from just talking about water going down the drain to any resource that we would squander or waste or that we can't recover. A lot of times we think of time, money, energy, raw materials that are used up and wasted. There's a lot of, I come from a manufacturing background, so there's a lot of things and materials, literally physical materials, that get used up in the manufacturing process that once a piece of metal or once a raw material is used, it can't be recovered. The excess or the scraps around it, think you're making cookies, you're rolling out cookies, and you can use the scraps a couple of times to roll out more cookies, but a lot of times the scraps just end up going in the garbage. Same if you're making and manufacturing a product or service. I'm trying to think of something that I've got handy that I could describe. If you understand the manufacturing process, say there's metal involved in something and you have to cut out a piece of a product out of sheet metal. Usually the metal around that, the excess, ends up being scrap or waste or gone forever. And it doesn't necessarily, because now we could get into the whole topic of recycling, but let's just keep it simple and say once we spend that resource, it's gone forever. So money, time, energy, actually human resources to me are the biggest area of challenge where we tend to flush people down the drain and not use them and their skills and their abilities to the best of our abilities within our companies, within our organizations, within the businesses that we're growing. People are capable of so much more than we often give them credit for if we just allow them to be and allow them to use all of their faculties and all the things that they're capable of. They can help us to supersize and grow our businesses beyond our wildest dreams. Because guess what? Generally, we are not the smartest person in our company. We are not the smartest person around us that we need to grow and to build our business. At least I know I'm not. So wasted resources. I'm curious, I would love to see in the comments below, what resources do you feel in your company, your organization, your business right now tend to be wasted or go down the drain? I think back and I think of all of the different projects that we did in corporate America in particular. It felt sometimes like we would do these huge projects. We would initiate a project, we would spend a ton of time and energy. Human resources are energy, and actually money and materials and research and hours into these projects and scenarios, and then the project would it wouldn't even fail. We would never actually launch that project. I had a boss in one company I worked for, and he called them what ifs, and he would have the entire management team pull like all-nighters as grown-ups. I can't believe it. And make us have these scenarios of what would we do in this scenario. And not one of those ever was implemented. And so to me, those always felt like time and energy down the drain that could have been better spent doing other things. So are there places in your company where you're wasting resources, where you're not using people to the best of their ability, where you're doing projects that never go anywhere? There's a difference between a project that you start and it fails or it has to be changed along the way, and a project that doesn't go anywhere. A project that never happens and never goes anywhere, and if you do that a lot, that is resources down the drain. Projects and even things that we do and try in our businesses that we actually fail at, if we still learn something from them, then I say it's not down the drain. It's not money or resources or time or energy down the drain. As long as we're moving forward toward our goals, and of course we're going to have things that work and things that don't work. Think of marketing campaigns or different the components that you add to the products and services that you offer your ideal customers. Sometimes you'll add something that the customers just don't appreciate. And now, is that wasted resources or down the drain? No, it's I've learned a lesson of what my customers don't value, so I'm not going to offer that product or service to them anymore. Is that wasted and down the drain? No, because you've learned a lesson from that. So we can look at things any way we want. I like to throw on my rose-colored glasses and say, as long as I've learned a lesson from something, there really isn't any failure. It's just stepping stones on the way to what I want to achieve. So I would love to hear your stories or a story about an example of down the drain in your business or in a business or in a situation or something that you've worked for. A lot of times we think of our relationships when they end as down the drain. But if we've gained, if we've learned from those relationships, are they really a waste of our time and energy, or are they something that helped us to become the person that we need to become as we grow and develop and continuously improve as a human being? Probably. We learn something from every one, even if it's a bad lesson. Guess what? We learn to not be a certain way. And so I say that's not wasted, that's not down the drain either. So would love to have you weigh in on this. Curious what other people think. I guarantee I've used the expression down the drain repeatedly over my life, both in personal and in professional scenarios. We had a lot of resources go down the drain in some of the businesses that I was in, and some of them we had lessons learned, some of them were just a big fat waste of time and energy. I find that in dealing with government regulators. Did I say that out loud? Have an amazing day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom and what it could mean to you and growing your business.